Hello everyone, today we're going to be trying out our latest kitchen appliance purchase, the Ninja 3-in-1 toaster for the first time.
We'll be seeing how the toaster and grill perform, as well as trying out the new Panini press.
So, let's get into it.
Let's begin by checking out the toaster. In the upright position, the main function is toast, and we also have the additional buttons for bagel and defrost. One of the first things we're going to try out today is see how well we can toast bread. We have 7 slices of bread lined up, and we will do 1 slice for each shade of the toaster. Level number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Okay, so we've done all 7 shades and we have a mixed bag of results here. So as you can see, this is shade number 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now, I'm not too sure what happened, if we have a faulty toaster or what is going on. For some reason, shade number 2 looks more toasted than shade number 6, which is not quite right. So now we're going to move on to toasting bagels and see how it performs there. Now, when it comes to bagels, everyone likes their bagel toasted differently. We're only going to try shade number 3 and see what we get. Okay, so the bagel is done. As you can tell, the bottom side looks a little bit more toasted than the top, but overall, that looks very nice. I'm quite happy with that. Now for the next test, we have some bread that's been living in our freezer for quite some time, and we're going to see if we can defrost and toast at the same time. So bread goes in, we are going to select defrost and shade number 3 and start. Approximately 2 minutes and 10 seconds later, we have some toast. It's still a little bit soft. The edges are quite crispy, not too bad.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the grill function. First things first, we need to tilt this down. Now once it's tilted, you can now access the grill functions. Now on the control panel, we have bake, grill and reheat. So first, let's check out the bake function. I've got a croissant, some ham and cheese here. Now the little booklet recommends for a ham cheese croissant to put it in on bake on low for 5 minutes. Okay, so let's assemble the croissant. So, place my ham in there. Some cheese. Let's be generous with the cheese and place that on top. Then we're going to place the croissant onto the tray. So now we're going to place it inside the toaster. So just be aware, when you're pushing in the tray, there is a little bit of a gap around the cooking area, but that's completely normal. So now the croissant's in, let's set it to bake. And 5 minutes. And then we just press start. Okay, so it is finished. Let's see how it looks. So first impressions, pretty good. It's got a nice crunch on the outside. Let's chop it in half. Got a little bit burnt on the top. Yeah, nicely melted cheese. Looks pretty good. Overall, I'd say that's done pretty well. Okay, now we're going to try the grill function by making some pizza bagels. Using the bagel that we toasted earlier, I'm going to put some tomato sauce for the base, a little bit of cheese and some salami. Then we'll put it on the grill function on high for 8 minutes. So let's quickly make these up. Okay, so now we're going to pop them on the tray. We're going to place it inside. Set it to grill on high for 8 minutes. Let's see how they turn out. Okay, so it's just reached 4 minutes, the halfway point. I'm just going to flip them around so that we get a nice even distribution of heat. And then I'm going to pop it back in for the remaining 4 minutes. Okay, they're done. Let's see how they look. Not too shabby. Let's take them off. Place them down. They don't look too bad. Bagels are kind of soggy, but I think due to the amount of pasta sauce I put on there. But the other bagel is pretty firm and crispy. The cheese is melted nicely. The only downside is having the large salami on top instead of little pepperoni pieces, but you work with what you got. So yeah, doesn't look too bad. Okay, now we're gonna try out the feature I'm most excited about, the panini press. So let's first fill our panini. I'm gonna be really boring here and just do a standard ham and cheese panini, and I'll top it off with a little brush of olive oil. So now once that's done, we need to then put the press inside the tray. Okay, so once the press is in, you're then going to grab your panini and you want to push it as far forward from the handle as it will go. And then you're just going to very carefully but firmly push down on there. And now you're ready to place it into the toaster. So once the panini is in, obviously select panini mode. We're going to put this on high for 10 minutes. 10 minutes and away we go. So it's been 8 minutes so far. I'm just going to take a quick look, see how it looks. I'm going to put it back for the remaining 2 minutes. Okay, so time's up. Let's see how the panini looks. Looks pretty good so far. Okay, so far so good. Looks really crispy on the outside. Let's cut it in half. Ooh. Going by how we cut through that, probably need to cook it a little bit less, but inside, cheese and ham, you know, the cheese all melted ham looks good. And on both sides of the panini, it's really crispy. Got the nice little grill effect there. Taste, let's have a quick bite. It is very hot. Tastes good. Overall, panini press, pretty good. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any leftover pizza to try out the reheat function, but one thing I do want to try is how this deals with cooking frozen food. So what I have here is very plain and simple, chicken nuggets. Now, Ninja recommend to put these on the bake function on high for 18 minutes, and at the halfway mark, just flip them over. Okay, so we've got our nuggets on the tray. Let's place it in. Turn it to bake on high. Time 18 minutes and start. Right, now I'm going to just flip them over. Okay, now back in for the remainder. Okay, so the nuggets are done. Let's take a look at them. There they are. They do feel still quite spongy. They don't feel too crispy. Let's see how they look on the inside. I mean, they are cooked. They are definitely cooked. There's a little bit of crisp on the outside. Not too much, but I mean, that could just be depending on the brand of chicken nuggets. It's not something that we eat a lot of. But overall, cooked pretty sort of evenly. So yeah, that is cooking frozen foods. So the verdict, what do we think of it? Well, let's start with the negatives. And my first point is that when it comes to the shade function, it didn't really perform as well as I thought it would. When we did our toast test, shade 1 all the way up to shade 7 didn't really look any different whatsoever, and that was a bit disappointing.
And the second negative would be the price point, retailing at about £150. It is slightly on the pricey side if you're on a budget.
But in terms of the negatives, that's really about it. So let's move on to the positive sides of this toaster.
For us, one of the biggest pros of this appliance would be the fact that it has multiple functions and it can even make paninis. And I mean, what other toaster can do that?
And the second good thing about this appliance is the compactability. This thing is so streamlined, so compact, that it doesn't take up too much space on your countertop. And also when you think about it, this is 3 appliances in one in such a small footprint. Where are you going to find that in any other product?
Now, going back to the shade function, we mentioned earlier that we weren't quite happy with the level of toasting we were getting because shades 1 to 7 look pretty much the same. We therefore contacted Ninja and their customer service team were absolutely spot on. They were able to replace the toaster for us and we redid the test and here are the results. And as you can see, they can speak for themselves. However, shade 6, as you can tell, could do with a little bit of tweaking.
And the last positive point from us is the fact that we bake our own bread and they're very long artisan shaped breads and they fit in this toaster perfectly.
If you enjoyed this video, then why not click the link on the screen right now? It will take you to a playlist where we review other appliances from Ninja.
Thanks for tagging along and we'll see you again soon.
Let's begin. My lip got stuck on my teeth. We have 7 slices of Brent. Brent? What is Brent? We have 7 shade functions. So starting out, first bit.